We are live here with the Black Motivation broadcast with the amazing, incredible, super duper talented, super duper fun. We could go on and on. Lily and Pumi, directors and star of African America. We're so excited to have you on the broadcast again. Welcome back.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for having us, especially when you got such big news.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. And so we want to give a little bit of context about how you came to the broadcast and, then take it to where we are now, which I'm super excited to talk about. So you guys were nominated for an award for the Pan-African Film Festival for 2021. So let's talk a little bit about that. That's how you came, and then let's talk about where we are now. So how was the experience?
It was amazing. I mean, I think the Pan African Film Festival, I encourage everybody to actually go to watch it next year because it's incredible what Black people from around the world have been doing with the medium of film and cinema. You know what I mean? It's really, really amazing. I saw some really great movies. We lost to the film Caged Bird, which is a really, really, really great film, and I hope everyone gets to watch it and things. So, but it was really wonderful. We were hosted so warmly by the festival, and a lot of good things came out of it.
So amazing. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about one of those major things happening today. So, would you like to share a little bit about your experience with the film festival as well?
No, it was, you couldn't actually ask for a better platform, especially as a Black filmmaker. I know everyone talks about, the bigger ones, like Sundance, they talk about, Cannes, but where, to get that audience that's really going to resonate with your film, to get treated like your film actually matters and is not just some fringe film.
Right.
There's no better place, I think, than the Pan-African Film Festival to showcase your work to, Africans in the diaspora. That was just such a privilege. And the coverage that we got, from reviews, audience feedback, and the support we got actually, just from the festival itself, and the support they gave to us was really, we didn't expect it. And I don't think we would have gotten it anywhere else. So it was just, life-changing, actually.
So amazing. We both look wonderful. So
Thank
glow is still on you, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's
And so talk a little bit-
Vaseline.
There we go. You know what? We need to have it. It's like a staple.
The staple.
It's a staple. So talk a
Must.
little bit about the journey from there to Netflix. Congratulations. You guys are now on Netflix. That is so
Yes.
amazing and exciting. So talk a little bit about the journey.
Wow, it was really, really great. I mean, having our film there, that's how we actually met our sales agent, which is Triple A Entertainment. And they pretty much brokered the deal for us to end up on Netflix. Now, we thought we were only going to be on Netflix South Africa, because, I don't know if people realize this, there's different Netflixes
Yes.
for different regions of the world, right? So there's
Right.
Netflix USA, Netflix. We got Netflix worldwide. So that's
Yeah.
190 countries for this little film this film that just
Yes.
began really in this very office, really, where we wrote scripts, and now it's out there for the whole world to see, and we're getting such
Yes.
incredible feedback from people in India, Spain, Jamaica. Really, it's been really incredible, the platform that we've gotten for this particular film, and for it to be our first film as a production company to have such a global audience. I mean, if Pan African wasn't enough of a global platform, it doesn't get any bigger than Netflix, and we're just so honored and excited.
Right. Yes. I'm excited.
Definitely, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially just for me, the thing that's really touched my heart is just the feedback we've gotten from especially female audiences and male audiences, but definitely just female audiences. There's some that hate this character. I love that. Some that really just want to slap her. Others that are just others that are so inspired by her that it actually speaks to people's dreams. One person from Uganda, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
actually DM'd me on my Instagram and just said like I actually feel motivated to actually pursue my dreams. I wish I could pursue my dreams like the character did. And I'm like, wow, you see that this is why
Right.
we do what we do. And no, we couldn't have asked for a better release. This is like exceedingly and beyond what we thought would happen. And like we're just like, wow.
So exciting. No, I was less conflicted. I love the character Namba Malala. I love a different perspective. Some people watch the film.
Some people really hate her. Like proper, like wanted to. There was a tweet. Someone was like, I feel like this girl did not get what she deserved.
A little controversy. We're gonna let you guys watch it and decide for yourselves. Definitely check out the film. And so, her journey, kind of parallels, in a certain way, like how you guys have come and, introduce your film in America now and now like worldwide, right? So you guys had a dream. You guys had a focus in something that you wanted to accomplish and you went after it. You didn't take the same route, right? You gonna make that clear. Not the same route. Still, talk a little bit about how you put a little bit of your soul, a little bit of your story into the character.
Wow. So, like I said in the last interview, I think it's just that like I came back from America. I went to America in 2014. I went to New York.
Right.
And I was so disillusioned, and I came back so what's the word, Muzi? Just
Jaded.
Jaded.
That's the word. And also vexed, So I came back and I was all kinds of just depressed and just felt like such a fraud because there's this idea that if you can't make it in New York City, you can't make it, you can make it anyway. So I was really just feeling like, who can't, what kind of person can't make it in New York City? Like, am I not tenacious enough? Like, was I actually overcome by that city? Because it is actually more difficult than what people realize.
Yeah.
So, I really put my experience into kind of the story of it, and obviously some of the twists and turns are a little bit more dramatic than what happened with me. But I definitely felt like, I related to a lot of what the character was going through. And I just tried to put my heart and soul into that. And someone was actually asking me like what we were doing next and if I'll be featuring myself in the next ones. And I was like, it was really just too personal a journey. And I knew that, I believe that, the story was given to me, and I know that I couldn't have executed it if it wasn't like as personal as it was.
And I think a lot of people have that experience. They say even, Hollywood here and even in entertainment here, you go to New York to make it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people have that experience. They either do not make it there or they make it somewhere else or they make it there. But, that doesn't, I'm so glad to hear, it didn't define you, your experience there. You took it, you learned from it, and you grew. And I want to share, you guys to share a little bit more that means to you as well. Like what are some steps that you took to take the experiences that led up to where African America is now and really like grew? Because we talked a little bit about that in the first interview, some of the challenges that you guys faced.
Right. Well, like you actually said in the question to my sister, that I really did draw a lot from the character of Nompumelelo because it was my first time directing. I was just supposed to produce the thing. It was never the goal for me to. If the budget was big enough, I would not be directing the feature. Yeah. And in the first scene in the film, right? Like I had such pressure on myself because I'm like, this is going to be the first scene that people are going to see of me directing, and I don't know if I have the requisite skills and the requisite, knowledge to be able to execute what I needed to do. So we just she's getting married to her South African husband, Dumelo, and she gets a phone call and she answers the phone call and then she leaves. And one of the shots that I decided to go with is that there's such a thing called the 180 degree line that as a director you've got to respect. And I actually decided to actually break that rule within that particular scene. So we cut to this particular angle where she runs home, just as a way of signaling to people that this is a character who's going to break the rules, and I'm a director who's going to break the rules. You know, so there's nothing conventional about how we went about this. So as unconventional as Nopumelelo was, it gave me strength as a director and gave me courage as a director to feel free to play around with things like structure, play around with things like image, play around with things like using mixed media. You know, I really borrowed a lot from her creatively so that I could absolutely execute my role as a director in it. So so to answer your question now about the steps that we took, we did many interesting things like shooting in New York, but cheating New York in South Africa, using South African actors to play American roles, which I know, some people may have, feelings about that, but you do whatever you need to do to make your dreams happen.
Yes.
And that's what the film is about.
Yes.
So,
super exciting.
Wow. I didn't know that about the breaking of the rule in the first
Yes.
the first scene. That's very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I did it to give myself a bit of cover that people understand. So if people are going to criticize Julo, they can criticize me as well. You know what I mean? That was my
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
And also, don't forget the pandemic. Working during a pandemic to make a film happen. You have to make rules that you have to break rules that actually were previously
Yeah.
sacred cows.
Mm.
A lot of people, they kind of struggled during the pandemic, and then they're the people who pivoted and grew during the pandemic. And the film industry definitely, took a very
Absolutely.
hard hit during the pandemic. So talk a little bit about for you too, Pumi, as an actress and a director and a producer, and then Muzi as a director and a producer. How did you guys work around some of the things that happened during the pandemic? You mentioned a little bit, about shooting in different places, but what were some of the workarounds for you guys?
I think the biggest one was the distribution. So we had always envisioned a cinematic release. We really wanted that. We really wanted the prestige of seeing it actually play out on the big screen. And I think that's something that I'll kind of always mourn the loss of that dream, I think, just because of what it, means as a filmmaker to see your film on the big screen. But it just really wasn't possible. It just really wasn't what was best for the film. The more feedback I get is the more I realize actually people have a very intimate experience with this film. And some, in the privacy, like I'll get, a DM at like sometimes like 5 a.m. or like, when people should really be sleeping if they're watching the film, whereas cinema put a restriction on that, and who knows what it's saying to them at that point in time, and how it's speaking to them in the privacy of their own space. And that's just like, I think it's the kind of film that people, some people will, those who love it will, get the freedom to watch it again and again, and really like watch it with their friends, watch it with their family, in their own space. And also just in the pandemic, because so many people, like, we can't travel, so like the ability for African Americans to actually see what present day Africa, present day Johannesburg looks like, without the ability to actually go. That must mean so much to people, like it's not Wakanda and it's not Zamunda, right? So you actually get to see what present day South Africa looks like without being able to travel, and the same for South Africans wanting to see New York. So I just think it just became a greater gift to the audience this way, and such global reach you can't really get with this in the same way with cinema. So as much as we had wanted that, but I'm actually in retrospect I'm very grateful that it actually panned out this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, for me, it's not only I completely agree with everything my sister said. I would just add that it's not only like the big screen that we're looking forward to. We're also looking forward to festivals. We're also looking
Yes.
forward to actually taking the film to different festivals around the world. So different, I was looking forward to actually, being being interviewed live with people, really just
Mhm.
talking, discussing the film, discussing choices about it. That's the thing I was looking forward to. But at the same time, maybe that was just, I don't know, God's way of making sure people have their own experience
Mhm.
of the film without it being mediated by me.
Yeah.
Explaining there. So in the end, everything actually worked out. Everything. When I look back on it, I don't know if I could guarantee a Netflix worldwide deal had it not turned out this way.
This
Had
way,
streaming not been right. So that's pretty much how I say the film and us as filmmakers had to adapt to the changing world.
and there's so much of the, as producers and those like aspiring to actually make films,
Yes.
there's so much about distribution that you actually don't know about,
Mhm.
and so many pitfalls that you fall into. Like, how many distributors actually will take like a proper, like, 50% of your profits and their distribution fee and
Mhm.
all these things that will really affect your business? Because at the end of the day, that's one thing I admire about how film and television is seen in the States, is that it's actually an industry. It's not just like, oh, I just have thoughts. It's actually like a proper business.
Right.
So there those things that people that we didn't know about, that we were just gonna go in blindly, had it not been for the pandemic. And the journey of this film really has just been like a miracle, just unfolding like in front of us. Most of the choices weren't ours, if we're honest.
Right,
Just like, if had it been our way, yeah, we would have been in cinemas, probably made something like $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would have been like online or something, like, if it was up to us.
Right.
So definitely, we can see God at work in every
Right.
detail. Yeah.
Yes. The lesson was in the blessing. The blessing was in the
yes,
lesson. All of
yes,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many times where there were no's and rejections that we didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Why? But like, when you look back at it, you're like, imagine if that had actually happened.
Right.
Yeah.
right,
The blessings and all the no's, and it's like a saying. It's like very cliche, like when one door opens and when one door closes, another window opens or another door opens.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
right,
doors and those opportunities are better than the ones that shut,
right,
Definitely.
right, right, right.
for sure. And so now we're at the season game. We're at Netflix level. What's next for you guys? What is the next door that we're looking to open?
Well, we've actually started working on a legal drama series that
Okay.
we're actually about to start shooting next month. And hopefully it'll be available for your guys' audience. What that particular film really focuses on race relations in South Africa, in present day South Africa, which I'm
Mm.
very excited about.
Excited about
And it's
it.
it's called Privilege. But then also we just finished. Well, I've just finished writing our second feature film called What Happens in
Yay!
Yes, called What Happens in July, and that film is gonna come out really, really, really soon. Well, as soon now that we are wrapping up development on it, we're about to start shooting on that, and hopefully with like restrictions ease down here in South Africa. So the plate is pretty full right now,
Yes.
and we're just very excited, and we're strengthened by everything we went through with our first film, African America.
Yeah.
It has literally made us able to withstand anything. I mean, once you survive a pandemic,
Yeah.
what else?
The
What
sky's the
Yeah,
else?
limit.
Exactly.
definitely.
So we have come to a fun portion of the Black Motivation broadcast called the rapid fire questions.
Oh
We're
wow.
gonna
Okay.
trade off. All right. So we
Okay.
have 5 questions. You have around 4 seconds to answer. So the first answer that comes to your mind. You guys ready?
Okay.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to have the first question?
Ladies first.
Uzi.
Lucy answer first, so Kumi, you got the first question. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Kumi. So it's Kumi, right? Kumi's
Kumi's first.
Great.
All right. WizKid or Burna Boy?
Burna Boy.
All right. A series, television series, or a film? Which one would you
A
prefer
film.
to watch? You prefer to watch?
Film.
Okay, a film.
A
There you go.
film.
Easy question.
A film.
All right. And so, never mind. Whitney Houston or Bobby Brown?
Whitney Houston.
And then
I'm surprised you said Whitney Houston because
Really?
I'm a huge New Edition fan. Like,
oh my goodness.
Out of the two?
sorry?
We still went with Whitney though.
We still went with Whitney because if it wasn't for Whitney, there would be no us. Like, she was like the architect of our dreams. Like, we saw Whitney Houston and we were like, oh, like, this is what's possible. She was just no one compares. But I'm still a New Edition fan. But yeah, still.
So cinematically, The Godfather or The Titanic?
The Titanic. The Titanic. The Titanic. I love The Godfather, I love also Fuller, but like the Titanic growing up, the memories, oh my goodness. It's like I just think about like high school, no, not high school, primary school, and all the girls going crazy for Leonardo DiCaprio, who's my favorite actor.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
And so, Pumi, next question: Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson, that's a wrap. Like, we can put on
the wrong one with that question. You asked the wrong one.
You asked the wrong one. Oh my goodness!
We should have swapped the questions.
Yeah, I would have gone with Prince. I absolutely would have gone with Prince. I love Prince. I'm more of a Prince fan than a Michael fan.
There we go.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, we reached the end of this week's episode. But I want to thank you guys so much for your time. I want to congratulate you and celebrate you for your success with the film. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for the platform again.
Yes. All the energy.
So much fun.
So this question is to you both. What words of motivation would you like to leave our audience with on this, your special episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast today? And Muzi gets to go first since Pumi went first.
Yes, thank you.
Now, words of motivation is that, listen, it all works out in the end, provided you do not give up. You can pivot, you can rest, but it all works out in the end if you stick to it. That's my words of motivation. Because we are just filmmakers from South Africa and we are speaking to the world. The world. Had we given up and just settled for just giving the film over to more experienced hands, you could not be in the position that we are in now. So yeah, that's my words. And the audience that we speak to are American, with every advantage in the whole world. Really, we can do it. So can you.
Amen. So too. Pumi?
Yeah, I'll just add on to that is just you're gonna hear no's. There are gonna be people that really think you're crazy. And funnily enough, even at this juncture, after we've proven ourselves and after we've, proven that, there's an audience for the kind of films we want to make, we're still having to to continue to have to be like, no, we're still gonna have to prove you wrong, because at this juncture there's still there's still promotion, there's still stuff that we have to do now. But we take strength from those initial no's that when people say no, they're only right if you listen. They're only right that you're not going to do it if you listen to their no and you take it to heart. They're definitely wrong if you don't. And as long as it takes, and as painful as it seems sometimes, and the times when there's really just, it doesn't feel like there's any light, you're into this dark tunnel that seems just meaningless and hopeless. You have to trust the force, that the presence of God that really told you to do it in the first place.
Yes.
He never lies. Let me tell you, it may sometimes seem like, listen, you may have gotten the wires crossed. Maybe you were talking to Ashley. I don't know if you're talking to me. What's going on? But he is faithful even when you are completely out of faith. Just trust. Just
Yes.
trust.
Amen.
That's what I.
That's a beautiful way to end this week's episode. I want to thank you so much, everyone who's watching now, everyone who's going to tune in for the replay. Y'all need to check out African America because it's now on Netflix. Congratulations! Y'all, this has been an awesome, awesome episode. Tell us where to find you on social media and the web.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at Muzitembu. That's MUZIMTHEMBU. And you can find me on Twitter at Muzi_Timbu, MTHE.
Kumi, how can we find you?
You can find me. You'll find me on Instagram mainly. That's really the only place that I know how to engage. I don't think I'm quick enough for Twitter. And you can find me at Pumelele. That's PHUMELELE. N for now, J for joy. At Pumelele NJ. That's me on Twitter. I mean on Instagram. And me on Twitter, actually. You might, if that off day I'm on Twitter, you'll find me there.
So much fun. Well, you will find Black Motivation Broadcast at Black Truth Media everywhere. There's Facebook, there's IG. We might be having TikTok coming out. Who knows? You'll find us Black Truth Media everywhere. Y'all, this has been an awesome episode. We are out. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.